Hey everyone, Dr. H, your friendly wargame guy at the Air Command and Staff College. Here to make a quick introduction to being the JFLC. Uh, what are your responsibilities? What are you going to be doing? Turn by turn as a wargame, during the wargame, during CW. Um, a quick guide to how to beat the JFLC, I guess you could say. So let's start with responsibilities. The big thing that you have to think about here is you're the JFLC, the ground force land component commander, so you're going to be focused on ground forces. You're going to tell the commander how to employ ground forces. You're going to have to update the COP, the Common Operating Picture, when it comes to ground forces, in accordance with how the Joint Force Commander wants you to do these things, which each class is going to sort of sort out on its own. But keeping the COP up to date with reference to ground forces, you're going to have to develop a land CONOP, a concept of operations. You're going to have to work with the other commanders, right? So you're going to provide mutual support to the other component commanders, and they will provide mutual support to you, meaning you guys need to work together, right, in a synchronized manner. You will have to coordinate with the AMDC, right, the Area Air and Missile Defense Commander, which is going to be the JFAC. So you'll have to coordinate with that person in terms of air defense. You'll have to conduct land operations in the JOA, so you'll be playing the land portion of the game during the execution of the war game, and you will synchronize the JOA fires within the JOA by giving inputs to the GIPTL, by communicating, and by conducting strikes. Remember, you have a lot of strike assets. You have artillery, you have headquarters, you have helicopters. So if you don't need those assets to support your own scheme of maneuver, important point, you should consult the GIPTL and start striking the targets you can strike using those assets. So what do you have to concern yourself with making? What products do you own as the JFLC? You own the land CONOPS. This is your plan for how you're going to use, in this turn, land forces. How are you going to pursue objectives? How are you going to align yourself with what the JFC wants done? And use land forces to accomplish those objectives. This is the product that gets approved by the Joint Force Commander. Has to approve your CONOPS for what's going on. You should be obviously sharing these CONOPS with the component commanders so that everybody knows what's happening. The other document that you're going to need for yourself is a decision support matrix, or I should say decision support matrices. This is the document that will help you make decisions quickly, because it'll give you the opportunity to think through these decisions before you have to do them. When things don't go according to plan, and newsflash, things won't go according to plan. Remember that you have both random chance, you have the opponent. They're going to have a say in how things are going to go, and they're going to affect whether or not you can carry out your plan. So this is a time to use the skills you learned for COA analysis and developing your CONOP, to analyze your COA, to come up with not new really, but like what happens if things don't work out quite right. If you're really successful, if you're really unsuccessful, if things don't quite go your way, what are you going to do with it? So the decision support matrix is a very important product for you to make your decisions. All right, so what should you consult? Well, you should consult the op order, right? This is the order that defines what you're going to be doing all through the operation. So you can go there for your main guidance to decide what it is you're going to do. You also can consult the sync matrix. The sync matrix is a product produced, turn by turn by the Joint Force Commander to coordinate all of the Joint Force Commander's subordinate elements into a cohesive whole. So consulting the sync matrix both to see what you're doing and what everybody else is doing will let you build that concept of operations in such a manner to allow you to achieve your objectives. You also need to consult the GIPTL and add to the GIPTL, right? There are going to be things that are important to your scheme of maneuver that you aren't going to be able to hit, so you will you will give those inputs to the GIPTL. And also, you're going to have you might also have strike assets that are not going to be used for your scheme maneuver. So what should you strike with them? Well, the GIPTL will The gypta will tell other people what you need struck, and you can help provide support to other people by striking things on the gypta that are within your range. So, knowing what's on the gyptal and how the gypt and what targets are on the gyptal is going to be important to you in your execution of the con ops. And then obviously we have to consult the cop. One, what's going on in the world? The cop will tell you. Two, you have to provide your updates to keep the cop up to date as you conduct operations. So you'll have to consult the cop on a regular basis. The cop may be something that the Joint Force Commander is ultimately responsible for, but you need to be ready to provide inputs and updates with reference to ground forces. What rules do you need to know? We're not going to go through this list piece by piece. There are going to be individual videos that discuss all of these aspects of the rules so you can study them and learn them. You need to know the rules on how the pieces move. You need to know the rules about how to do what it is you're trying to pull off. You should understand enough about the combat resolution, even though you're not going to be consulting the tables and rolling the dice. But you should understand enough about the way that combat's adjudicated to be able to make good decisions. So you're going to know your options, your movements. You're going to know how combat works with reference to ground forces. And again, now the schedule, I'm not going to go down this piece by piece. Long story short, we are going to execute the land combat in the afternoon. So after lunch, you're up, meaning you've got all morning to get ready. So you'll get ready in the morning. You'll execute after lunch. You'll have a little bit of time in the afternoon to sort of coalesce your thoughts, to get ready for the next morning, give everybody a quick update about where you're leaning, finish your con ops in the morning, and go execute. So you've got a pretty straightforward schedule. You've got a pretty straightforward job. Control the land forces, conquer your foes, make everyone happy, have a party. That's how you become the JFLC. That's how you act as the JFLC. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.